Okay, evening all. Welcome to VPG episode 9, where we're talking the big dogs, the strikers, the guys that make everybody smile and laugh with their winning goals. And we got in the show, we got Justin from Ballers and Giovanni Bessasor. Did I get that right, Giovanni?
Yes, you got it right.
Yeah, tell me I've been practicing now the last 5 minutes from Batalia. Welcome, guys. And of course, our co-host, Bruno. It's always
What's up,
good
guys?
We missed him last week. And he's
Sorry
good.
about that.
That's fine, Bruno. Everybody needs time with their wife. We understand. Yeah, guys, obviously, before we get going on the questions, just that you two guys, Giovanni and Justin, you guys are going to be next week and you'll be captaining the teams that I'll tell you a little bit later. Let me not jump the gun. So welcome. Okay. How much confidence does it take for a striker to be in that top form and be in the season? And have you misfired at all? So you have confidence scoring goals. You guys are obviously top of the logs. You're both cooking by the looks of things. Have you had a misfire in the season? How do you deal with that? Giovanni, let's hit you, my man.
So first is my first season playing VPG. So
okay.
I don't know how to answer that question, but
So you've never had a bad season. In other words, this is your first season. You've had a misfire. But let's put it this way. Then have you had a few bad games where you've actually missed a few, where you could have won the game?
I had a lot of chances.
Okay.
There's a chance where I could have scored 5-6 goals, and I just completely missed everything.
Okay. And how do you deal with that the next game?
I'd go on early practice in drop-ins and play some divisions with the guys. Just make sure my shooting's on target there.
Okay. So then, obviously, Justin, you'll have obviously way more experience than that. Having a good run, having a bad run. How do you correct yourself if you have a bad run? I mean, obviously, having confidence in scoring, does it affect you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, in the build-up to VPG, I had quite a poor pre-season. We unfortunately didn't make it through to the Champions League, which was a big disappointment for us. And I think I was showing some of the poorest form of my pro club's career at that time. I was even considering changing position, in fact, but stuck with it. And, eventually the chances will come. Just got to make sure you're in the right position. And then when the chance does come, you've got to take it.
Well, that's interesting, Bruno. Like when you have a bad run, like Justin just said, you even considered changing positions. I mean, that's quite hectic for a guy from your experience saying that. I mean, a lot of guys say that and actually do it because they want to find like, hey, maybe it's not working for me. So you've actually thought about that as well, huh?
Yeah. I mean, CDM is a bunch of fun. I mean, I think you mentioned in the previous podcast how fun CDM can be. You're in the mix all the time. But yeah, I stuck with it, and I think it's been worth it in the end.
Des, so I just wanted to come in there. So for Justin playing like a team like Ballers, and they expect him to fulfill that role, it's a lot of pressure, They really always on the top of the log, top of their game. Everyone knows Justin. They know him as a killer striker. And so what I wanted to ask you, Justin, is like, how do you maintain with that pressure? What happens when you start, because everyone expects you to win. What happens when you don't win? You need goals to win. Do they apply that pressure onto you, Justin?
Yeah, well, luckily at Ballers, you have a lot of players who share the goals around, the likes of AD, Jared, Jay. So it's not really solely on my responsibility to score the goals. But yeah, you get those tough games, the Unleashed, the Untouchables, and a few others who are super difficult to score against. So yeah, it does become a difficult then. But luckily at Ballers, we share the goals around.
And Giovanni, so you being in the Championship League, I see that you obviously you say that you play around a lot. This is your first season. You're having a killer season. Do you feel this is the position for you, or do you still want to play around, seeing where you best fit?
I started off as a goalkeeper, so moving from goalkeeper to striker is a big change, and I feel like striker is my position because I scored 35 goals and probably more on Wednesday, hopefully. But I feel striker is my position, and yeah.
Okay,
nice.
well, you both you lads are doing an amazing job in such a short period of time in VPG. You're putting in the bangers, man.
Okay, yeah. Let's Justin, let's go to put this one to you. Your player build. What's the 3 highest attributes your player as a striker? If you build when you build a player. So obviously we're teaching the guys out there, the guys that are starting like Giovanni. Maybe they can get us some tips. We'll go to Giovanni next. But Justin, what's the 3 most vital attributes when you build your player? What do you look at? or
I think
striker?
you need to look at your finishing firstly. I mean, if you get that one, especially in this FIFA, it couldn't be more difficult to score goals, I feel. So when you get that chance, your finishing needs to be in top shape. Apart from that, I'd say a little bit of agility in this FIFA comes a long way, as well as I think most importantly would be the 5-star weak foot. I think on this FIFA, as I said, the chances are few and far between. When you do get that chance, you haven't got the time to shift to the left or right. You have to take the small opportunity you get. You take it, you shoot left or right foot. So I'd say the 5-star weak foot for me would be most important, and that's something I definitely apply to my pro.
Oh, wow. Like you said, the FIFA, every game, every year changes. So you adapted to your experience. Great stuff.
Yeah.
And Giovanni, what's your take on that? When you build your player, what do you find that your first season? Do you agree with Justin, or what else would you?
I strongly agree with Justin there, because the 5-star weak foot is very vital. Because you obviously in league games you can't, they close you down very fast, so you have to get that shot on. And obviously agility, your agility has to be very high for those fast turns and shots. And for me, I find an important role is pace. Gotta beat the defenders in this run.
So, a man of my own heart, love pace.
So I know that you're going to be interested in this, and so this is going to be directed at Justin. Obviously, it's going to be Giovanni's going to play a role in this question. But so Justin, you've played with ballers for quite some time now, and when is it going to be that jump to like, okay, we've dominated the league for so long, or the leagues, shall I say? When are you going to or when do you feel you should move to another team, maybe to see if you could actually better that team? Let's just say there's a team struggling mid-table and you feel like you're going to be the reason to take them to top 4, top 2. Do you feel that's a challenge for you, or are you just comfortable where you are?
Well, look, it's certainly a consideration I had, but you see, apart from FIFA, Aiden is my best friend in real life, Aiden and Jay. So we really just play for the fun of it, And I also got a bit more competitive with VPG and SAPL too. But the fact that I'm best mates with AD and Jay means that I'm very unlikely to jump ship. I mean, obviously some great teams like Crusaders and Untouchables, Unleashed and Artemis, they obviously brilliant teams in their own right. But look, the fact that I'm such good mates with AD, and I've built some strong bonds with other ballers as well. Got to meet a few of them, even when they're from different cities. So I don't see myself moving from ballers anytime soon, I must admit. But it's definitely something I considered. Especially with a dip in form, you consider, would I be able to play better elsewhere, a team that keeps the ball well. So I have considered it, but the fact of my friendship with AD and Jay has keeping me around at ballers.
That's really, loyalty is always good in this game. And also Giovanni, so what's going to happen when people are hungry for a striker to take them up to the next level? They're going to become calling your name like, Giovanni, we need you, come on, join the squad. What is your answer going to be?
It's my first season, and these guys from Batalia, they found me and they put me, and I wouldn't be here without them finding me. So I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere anytime soon. I don't even think I'm gonna leave.
We've heard that before. It's all good. It's exciting about pro clubs. While we're on shooting and your attributes on your players and how you build them, let's go to shooting now. So finesse, like a lot of guys talk about finesse or don't finesse. Giovanni, you use finesse or not?
I definitely use finesse, because that's important feature in your striker.
Okay, so you definitely use. I know a lot of guys. Some guys don't. Some guys swear by it. Justin, you share the same view as Giovanni. Finesse.
I think it's more effective from outside the box finesse. Whereas when you're in the box, I prefer just put my laces through it. I know that the near post shots become a little bit OP in this FIFA. So that seems to be the go-to for all strikers and all attackers in this FIFA to go near post. But yeah, there's nothing. I prefer to do the finesse outside the box. It's a little bit more precise. So yeah, I prefer the finesse outside the box and then through the laces through the ball inside the box.
Okay.
Any dribbling, guys? Any dribbling? Do you feel like being up front, you take that risk to create space? Any dribbling involved, or you just like, no, let me bang this in before my teammates are going to shout at me for missing an open goals?
I'm the most dull striker you'll see around. But the whole season I've had 3-star skill moves. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those brilliant. You get a lot of skillful players, throughout the VPG. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. I prefer just to keep it simple. When I sit there playing, thinking, what would my teammates want me to do? I don't want to try a skill, 10 times and it only comes off on 2 or 3 occasions, and it gets frustrating for them, So I prefer to keep it simple and hit the shot when I'm able to.
Giovanni?
Same like Justin, I also have 3-star skills. I like to keep it simple. but sometimes I get carried away, doing drag back, step overs, doing all sorts of fancy lob passes. But otherwise, I just keep it simple and just score those goals.
I love the same mindset you guys have got, and it shows. I think Justin, you're on 34, and Giovanni, you're on 35 goals this season so far. Eh? Yeah, so nice. When it comes to, like, every great striker has a great partner. Let's be honest, you need a great cam or a good supply of the ball. Giovanni, who's the guy in your team that's your partnership that you got a great partnership with?
If I'm being honest with you, I have two partnerships, actually three if you think about it. I have my cam, Manus, very good player, foot chance player. He supplies those crucial passes. Then I have Kylo playing as left striker, who's more of a creative striker, who also plays those passes. Then I have Figo on the left-hand side, bringing in those low-driven crosses to me. So those three guys there, they get me my goals. And also,
Okay.
it's also a team effort.
You say, yeah, three of them, but who's the strongest connection? Who got the strongest connection?
Don't put him on the spot, Dazza. Come on, my man. Don't put him. But answer the question, Giovanni. Who do you think you couldn't score those 34, 35 goals without?
Definitely. But definitely without Kylo. If Kylo was not there next to me, I don't think I'd be scoring anything. Very crucial and very important in my game.
100%. Justin, I think your answer is clear cut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
we,
clear as day.
Give it to
Yeah.
us anyway, man. Give it to us anyway.
Yeah. No, obviously, I've known Aiden for over a decade apart from football. Him and I get along well on and off the pitch as well. So it'd have to be Aiden, the one who I'd link up with best throughout my team. Obviously, some brilliant players like Jay, Smurf, Nick, who also play a crucial role in attacking as well. Jared as well. But I'd say if I had to pick anyone, it would be Aiden who I'd take me to other team or whatever it may be, or a little social event, little social team, Saturday Night Lights, whatever it may be. It'll be Aiden I'll take with me for sure. Aiden and Jay.
100%. I see Aiden's got the most assists anyway in the league with 21. Well, there you go.
Sure.
And that thing, you can have 2 or 3 players, like Giovanni said, but you've got that one guy that you don't have to, you just know that click is there, the movement's there, the passing's there. It's nice to hear that. And I think every team needs to have that. And movement up front with the striker. How important is movement up front? When I played a few guys and Bruno can attest to that. You get strikers that stand still and do their thing, and then you got guys who almost like link play and play. How important is the movement up front? What do you do with movement? Justin?
To Justin?
yeah.
Sure.
Justin.
I think movement is the most important thing in this FIFA. I mean, as I said, you're very unlikely to pick up the ball far on the halfway line and just skip through 3 or 4 plays and score your goal. It's very unlikely in this FIFA. So positioning yourself is the most important thing. I see a lot of strikers who like to just sprint into the box, but at the same time, they're sprinting along the same speed as the defenders. Sometimes it's good just to hang back on the edge of the box. And if your teammate, your winger, has the vision to pull it back for you, then you have a good chance. So yeah, movement is the most important. It doesn't have to be quick movement. It just needs to be a little bit clever at times, And I think that's the best way to score goals.
100%. Giovanni, when we talk about that clever movement, do you like to play straight to the center, or do you shift? Do you shift left or right, or drift to the right? What's your preferred movement?
I stay central sometimes, and then obviously when like the middle is packed, I go out wide to like come through those wings, and also play those first time passes 1-2-1-2 through the middle and through those sides. So yeah, like Justin said, the movement is very important for a striker, and that's how I play.
You mentioned the middle's packed. Like, I know strikers get quite irritated. Do you get irritated if the guys take up your positions way too much, if they don't stay in the positions, correct positions? Hey, Giovanni?
I don't get that much irritated, but like if there's someone in my position, I simply just go out wide, or I go rotate to their position there to like cover for them. So so it doesn't matter.
100%. And Justin, you guys, we all know ballers. You guys stay in your positions quite nicely. I mean, you're very disciplined that way. So you don't have much of a problem when that comes to guys crowding you in the box. Am I right?
No. I mean, people like Jared and Jay and Eddie are equally as good at scoring goals as what I am. So I mean, whether it's me there or them, it's going to be the same outcome, hopefully. So I'm not too bothered whether I see, Jared alongside me a meter away or 80 a meter away. Doesn't bother me at all. I'm happy to have them alongside me. But obviously, a bit of width is very effective in this FIFA. So I think we played a 4-2-2 formation, and we went through a period where we tried a bit of a narrow formation. We tried to compensate and try to counteract other teams' performances and their strengths. We try to make ourselves more narrow. and we got some poor performances there. I think to advise the teams, just stick with what you know. Keep playing out from the back if that's what you do. So yeah, don't always change the way you play to try and compensate for the way other teams play. Because we tried that and we had a poor week that time around. So just stick with it and you'll get the results in the end.
So on this topic, Justin, I wanted to speak. So first and foremost, like, I'm kind of sad that I don't get to see Smurf play anymore. I think he understands this game better than anyone else. I love the way that he plays this game. So it's kind of disappointing not to see him. I'd love to see him come back. So if you can, please twist the gentleman's arm. But other than that, like, I wanted to ask, you guys are a bunch of personal friends, right? And you have, as much as you guys have respect in this particular game, a lot of people have like a jealousy or a hate. Healthy, I would imagine, because you guys are just dominating the league. So how is it that you guys handle that? Do you guys laugh it off? Does it become actually frustrating to deal with that, where people are just constantly trying to banter you guys or push you guys down?
Yeah, look, I mean, it does become a bit frustrating at times because people paint a picture. Even people come on the podcast and they say, ballers have no life out of football. We've heard that one before. But I think, as you mentioned, Smurf's not around. He's only playing, every second week. We have Jay, who's hardly around. We're all working hard. Waking up when it's still dark in the morning, going in the shower when it's still dark. Arriving home when it's dark in the evening. So we get say we don't do much outside of pro clubs. We're actually working extremely hard, and we're not able to field the same team over and over again. I mean, if you play ballers on a Wednesday, I can guarantee you the following Wednesday there'll be about 3 or 4 changes, not down to performance, but purely down to unavailability of people who are working, trying to support their family and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I don't want people to get painted the picture that we just like gamers all the time and we have no life out of pro clubs, because that's not the case. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but we do laugh it off, in the end, and we all a tight knit group in there at Ballers.
So just like I've said before, it doesn't matter how you guys play. It doesn't matter how many of you guys play and how you guys constantly rotate the squad. The results are steady. So I don't care what people say. You guys have been doing it and will keep on doing it for the longest time. But and Giovanni, so what I wanted to get through to is when you guys come into the Premier League, well, if you guys come into the Premier League, how serious do you start to take this game? Like, are you going to be competitive? Because it gets competitive. No one should say, oh, we play for fun or whatever the case is. It becomes toxic so quickly after a string of 3-4 bad results. How are you going to compete with that?
I don't let toxicity get to me. And if we do make it to a Premier League, which I'm very confident we will, and it's going to be very competitive. So I'm mostly on FIFA every day. Even when I come after school, I'm on FIFA. So I think I'll handle it quite well, playing it competitively.
Nice. Nice that you mentioned that. We're going to look at the Championship League, and we'll see where you guys are now in the league. Shumi will get this up for us, and there we go. Let's look. Okay, perfect. That's the team of the week. There you go. Championship team of the week. There we go, Giovanni. Picking it up. Okay, so we'll look at the log then after that. Championship team of the week is Giovanni at striker. Then left wing is Delroy from Dragons. Then right wing would be Ishmael Raja from Snook FC. Cam is Proficient Makanzi. He's been there a few times, Black Knights. RDM is Mo Nabi, Stoke City. LDM is Tato Edwaba. Sorry, Tato. I'm messing up there. From that Battalier, one of your boykies there. Left back also Battalier boykie, Shaheem Abrahams. Right back, Jele. Tough times. I'm not even game for his first name. Sherman's having a laugh with me in the background there. Foloso. There we go, Foloso. They're going to shoot me there with Jele. Then from Tough Times, then LCB is Uncle from Battalier, Luis Adrian. And then RCB is Niaz Yardin from Stoke City. And the goalkeeper, I put myself there. I'm going to win a prize tonight.
Yo.
Yeah, why not?
I know, that's your twin, Des. That's your twin. That's your twin.
We'll win myself a prize. Nobody else is claiming the goalkeepers. I must come play for Battaliers there. See that Giovanni's playing striker. Then on the bench, you got Carl Peterson from Battaliers, Georgie Camphor from Local Boys, Lukman Meyer, also been there a few times, Team KO, and Jonathan Michaels from the Plain Boys. Like I said, Giovanni, the leading goal scorer there, 35. Their most assists is Jordan Leaf from Stoke City with 19. Well done on making that. Let's get their log up. Show me if we can get that championship log up. We're going to have a look at that. Some of those results are quite interesting results. Um, there we go. So you got Snook up the top there. Snook FC. Battalier, I see Giovanni, you guys are there at line third, eh? I see you what? It's at 6 points, 7 points off the top, but you're in the promotion spot by 3 points. You guys are going to hang in there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Team is very capable.
I see your result there. You played unlucky. That was probably your must-win game last week, which you beat them 3-2. Tell us how that came in.
Yeah, it was a very intense game. You know, went up, then you're leading, then you gave away a few goals, and then you just had to score the last goal during the game 3-2, and then just play management game there with defense.
Yeah, I can see that's some interesting results there too. Unlucky beating Team KO 3-1, and then Young Stars losing to Shooting 1-2-3 Shooting, then Shooting drawing to Snook 1-1, which was quite an important result for Snook to grab a point there, and then Team KO drawing to 1-2-3 Shooting as well, 1-1. So I see it's quite tight at the top there. I think from about Young Stars up 6th spot to 1st spot. There's 6 teams fighting for a playoff. And we hope you guys do well there and come up to the Premier League. But it's still tight there. It's still tight. And there's a few games to go. 27 matches being played. Your goal difference at the moment is 34, which is the best in the league due to your striking, scoring goals, which is great. You must just keep it up. Okay, great. We're going to look at the Premier League, or we're going to spin the wheel first, Jimmy. Spin the wheel. Now for the championship. Let's go. Hope you got my name there as goalkeeper. I want to win something.
I'm going for Uncle.
While they're spinning that wheel, Justin.
Yeah.
It's nice to see all the new teams there jumping in that championship. Let's go. It's a nice long spin there. I'll go for proficient. Oh, Tato. You have to say his name. Led Waba. I have to say it again. Eh? Well done, Tato. You can go put your hand up there in the Discord and in the chat here and claim your prize. Your prize will be 100 Rand voucher. Okay. Well done, my man. Cool. I didn't win anything. That's disappointing, man. Cool. We can get that Premier League team up there. Shem, let's get Justin involved there.
And no surprise. Up front, dominating as always.
There we go. Justin striker. There we go. Left wing's Bilal Said from Sabres. Right wing Alex Mons, Sophia. Cam's Maruf Gankar from Bamboos. Nice variation. Not a lot of new. Not really one team dominating. I can see there's quite a few Zamalek boys and touchables, but there. Josh Levy from Zamalek. Ivan van der Westhuizen from Bamboos. John Michael Stradom, Sophia, Yusuf Maka from Zamalek, Craig Jomath, Touchables, Ziad, Ganchi, Ballers, and Dylan Flackwell, Untouchables. On the bench there, you got Nicholas James, Sherman Galley on the bench. He does his best work there, you know that, he does his best work there. Mohamed Lahir from Unleashed, Jamie Webber from Untouchables, and of course, there Justin, top goal scorer with Aiden, 21. Justin, what do you think of that team, my man?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Very good team. That I think they do quite well there to combine for the VPG. I think they put up a fight for the championship, certainly.
Nice. And while we got you guys both here, obviously you're both making the team for Team of the Week. You're going to be captaining those teams on Sunday next week. Justin, you'll captain the Premier team, and then Giovanni, you'll captain that championship team in the new thing we got going with the Premier League team. Team of the Week takes on the championship team of the week, and we'll look to kick off around about 9:30 on a Sunday. A lot of fun. We want an open game, you know. You want to sit back. Let's go. Entertain. There we go. Have a look. Be entertained. I think Shermy can be on the bench for that one. It's class. Great timing, Shermy. Great timing there, my man. We're going to spin that wheel for the Premier League team and see who wins what. Let's do it. I'll go for Dylan. Shame.
I'll go for Justin.
Oh, thanks.
You're sharing half with me.
Yeah, definitely.
Then goalkeepers in the shout out here, man. What's going on? We need more goalkeepers.
He's deserved. Yeah, well done. He's
I say so.
deserving. He's always there. Week in, week out, he's always there. He's deserving.
Well done, yeah, man. You can collect your voucher there. Just give a shout out in the Discord server. Then obviously on the channel, say you collect your prize from Mubin. And then what else we got going here? So you got your players. Justin, how long have you been playing pro clubs for?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'd say probably about 4 or 5 years now. I'd say.
Really,
I'd say we had this tradition where we had to go to this midnight dawn check canal walk. Myself, Aiden, and Jay. And the first thing we get back, even though it's midnight, we might have school the next day, whatever it may be, or class or varsity, we'd still just hop online, create our pros, and just have a little session of pro clubs before.
Yeah, very much like Giovanni.
And the log, Des, can we have a look at the log?
Yes. Let's get that up.
If you wouldn't mind putting the log up for us, please, Ben. I know that the top three they're looking to be running away with it, but I know that the middle of the table is very compact.
Yeah, I haven't. It's going to be tight there. It's going to be tight. I would say, 3-4 teams. Let's have a look once Shemi gets that log up. But I see some results here, some notable results for the Premier League. Nightmares beating Unleashed 3-1.
Sure.
Van Bus beating Crusaders 1-0. Zamalek beating Untouchables 2-1. So it's hotting up at the top there. And the guys are getting, those are results. I know they're capable of beating those teams, but you would think Untouchables and Unleashed would still get results and points. But this is where Crusaders also drawing 0-0 to Untouchables. La Frienza drawing to Zamalek 2-2. And then Zamalek drawing to JD 2-2. So this is the difference comes, and we've spoken about this quite a few times. And I know Giovanni's listening, and these Justin and the ballers, this is where the difference comes in. The ballers get those points. When it comes to the tight week 20, game 27, game 29, and the guys drop points to teams they should be beating, ballers always consistent. And Justin, it's been a feature with you guys, huh?
If there's one team you don't want breathing down your neck, that's certainly Unleashed. They know exactly how to get a result. So I'm a bit disappointed that's them that's behind us. I think they're probably the team who are most likely to put up a challenge, and they know how to ground out those 1-0s or whatever it may be. They're so brilliant at the back. Once they go ahead, they're very difficult to break down, and I'd say they're probably the most difficult team to score against in the league. So I've got a lot of respect for them. Zhao marshaled that defense brilliantly. I've actually been lucky enough to play alongside Zhao previously at Ballers many years ago, and also in the last two Saturday Night Lights tournaments, and I can just see the effect he has on our team too. So he's a brilliant player, and he's got that team playing very well.
100%, like you said.
Des, I just wanted to ask the two strikers. So we brought this this topic up in the previous podcast, but I would love to hear your guys' opinion. So what if you were to play in a completely manual league? So I'm taking nothing away from you guys as strikers. You are amazing strikers. Obviously your stats show that. But what if you were to shoot at goal manually? Do you guys think that would be something you'd be keen on doing, challenging yourself, or is that like you're not gonna bother?
Justin,
Giovanni,
let's go.
Yeah.
Honestly, that'd be quite difficult manually. Quite difficult. But
would it be something you would try? Would it be something that you'd keen to try, or would you be like, no, I'm sticking to my finesse?
No, I'll be keen to try that, honestly, because finesse has its flaws, but I'll shoot manually, give it a try.
Okay, cool. And Justin?
Yeah, as a bit of banter, myself and Reese from Crusaders, we actually did one time where we put the manual shooting on, and it's extremely difficult. I'll definitely try it for a laugh. I can't imagine it will be top scorers, myself and Giovanni. It's really difficult. But yeah, I'll definitely do it for a laugh, that's for sure.
I wonder why they put that there. I wonder why they've done it for manual. Like, if we're not going to play, we're going to play FIFA, obviously, or automated and helping us. I wonder why they've put it there. I wonder if they
let me tell you why, Dazza, because FIFA, as much as I love the game, we all hold our hands. Just the passes are impossible. People are crossing with their heels from we don't even know where. People are shooting from halfway line straight into the top corner. So whenever my mates come over, we always play manually because it's such a laugh. It's like Justin said. And also sometimes, and I'm not lying to you here, you are alone with a goalkeeper and you're shooting at the corner flag. It's really fun. So it would be kind of cool to see who's like got that skill, I always figured if we had a manual league, it would like show the best of the best.
But Bruno, you shoot for the corner flag all the time. So,
here you go with the Portuguese accent. We've passed that baton on, just by the way.
So you guys, you're going to be captaining those teams next week. Make yourself available. We get those guys. Those guys that made the team, obviously, we'll put it in the Discord server and have a look. Make yourself available 9:30 for next week Sunday. We're trying to stream that so everybody can watch. It'll be lots of fun. Like I said, let's have an open game, almost like a barbarians rugby type game where the guys go for it and make it entertaining. I want to see a 5-4 or like a 6-3, something entertaining. I'd love to see that. And then what was I say now? We got a goal of the week. Last week's goal of the week was Kazil from drop-ins. He got the most votes. Remember, you guys are voting for these goals. We put out 7 goals the week before. And Kazil, so Kazil won it from Dropping Kings. Well done on the votes. He obviously has a big family voting for him. You know,
but yeah, so guys, please just make sure that you submit your goals. There's some quality goals that's going through that's not being submitted. We really like as much as possible so that the guys can enjoy. Not everyone gets to watch the streams of your live game, so please, man, submit the goals. Let's all do it for the community.
Yeah, let's put it on the strikers. Like Justin, Giovanni, you guys score bangers. You score bangers every week. I mean, you top the goals. Tell your captain, do the cuts, do the trim, cut the clip, send it to us, my man. I mean, there's so many goals there. And we want to get that. And obviously, we can get to the point where we can do goalkeeper saves. Let's be honest. There's some great goalkeeper saves that can happen out there. I know, shame the forgotten goalkeepers. And next week, maybe we'll talk about goalkeepers next week and get those guys.
I think Des Giovanni needs to start building his portfolio, because when he comes to the Premier League and everyone's headhunting him, he needs to start asking for that coins. You know, he's not going to be a 100-coin player, so he needs to start taking those snaps of his goals.
Yeah.
100%. No. Guys, it's been a good show. If there's one last tip that you would give guys learning to play striker, yes. We'll get there. There's one last thing before we close off. Giovanni, what's the thing that you would tell a guy playing a striker, the most important thing to do? Is it movement, shooting, pace? What is it? What is that one thing?
You know, I would be thinking that to be a striker, you have to have a lot of communication with your teammates. You know, because that's the most important thing. Because without communication to your teammates, how are you going to get the ball? How are you going to know where to go? So I think it's communication.
100%.
Build up a striker.
Great answer. Good answer.
Justin, you?
I think just position yourself correctly. I think I like to find myself between the 2 posts. So whether the ball falls nicely for me, it doesn't always have to be a brilliant goal. You know, in this FIFA, there's not many brilliant goals. If you see a tight game, all it takes is that one person to be in the correct position to just score a scrappy goal, and that's the difference between 3 points and only getting 1. So I'd say just position yourself correctly, put yourself between the posts, and you might get lucky. Who knows?
100%. And before we go off tonight, there's one more other thing, another exciting prospect we're going to do. We're looking at doing provincial teams. So those guys that are putting your stats in, you've got to have a minimum of say we play 30 games in the league, you'd have a minimum of 15 games stats in for VPG to be considered for provincial trials. So we'll have obviously Cape Town, 5 provincial teams. And from those provincial teams, we're looking at squads of 14. Those provincial teams will pick a VPG SA team. So guys, get your stats in. It's vitally important. We want to do this and do this properly. You know, we don't want to pick a team because, you know, I know this guy and I know that guy. We want to look at the stats and go, hey, this guy on the right wing, he's got his stats in. We can look at his stats. There's the proof. He's now invited to the provincial trials. I think that's very exciting for us. What do you think of that idea, Justin?
Yeah, very happy with that. I think that'll be brilliant. I think we've already gone, as we see in the SNL, that Saturday Night Lights team. I think we often have, you know, a Joburg team or a Cape Town team, a KZN team, Durban team. So it becomes more and more of a theme. I think to do it at this platform would be brilliant. I'm keen for that.
100%. And Giovanni, you like that idea?
Yeah, I agree with Justin. It'll be a good idea because, especially SNL, a lot of great teams, Mozambique, Joburg, you know, all different things. Be a very good idea.
And we have an interprovincial tournament, and from there we pick the best VPG SA team.
Go off now, but on that topic, like how?
Yeah, Bruno.
Yes. Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys. The signal isn't really great where I am. What I wanted to put is, how adamant are you guys about doing your stats? Like, how are you guys, or do you want to put your stats in to be the best striker? Or does your captain, is he on your neck, Justin? What is it that you, like, are you adamant about your stats, or do you just put your PlayStation off and go to bed?
No, I mean, I usually do it the following day. I mean, I've even put in my 4.7s the one time round. I had a very poor game. I actually got a red card in the one game. So you got to put in this. You got to be honest, you know. I'd rather be able to sleep easy at night knowing I've done the correct thing. You're not always going to make team of the week, but yeah, I put in my 4.7s. I put in my 10s. But yeah, I prefer to do it the following day after.
But then, yeah, 100%. Now, guys, get those stats in so we can pick those teams. And before we end off, let's end off with the most important people or the person on the team is the manager of the week.
Yes.
Chevy's getting him up there. Manager of the week. These guys, they're always putting it. There we go. It's Manu Lake from Team KO. Well done, my man. You win a dual shock charger. Just put your hand up in the Discord server there and say you've been watching. Manager of the week. And those managers, please get your goals in. Let's put it out there. Those guys, the manager that sends in the first few goals for next week's goal of the week. Maybe we will nominate you for manager of the week. Some prizes to be won. Let's get those goals out there. Great for doing your stats and stuff like that. But let's get those goals out there. There's so many goals that the guys score, and we want to make it more exciting for the guys that are watching. And then obviously, last thing for me again is to remind you to put your stats in. Let's get this provincial teams up and running. VPG SA. Then obviously we'll organize against other teams like Egypt and Tunisia. Why not? Why not? There's an African African Cup coming up and stuff like that. So there's plenty of stuff to be done. Okay. Thanks for the show, guys. You know, anything from me? Last word from
Yeah. Well, from me, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. It's really nice to watch you guys play. You guys are really excellent. Your positions, and just once again, thank you for blessing us with your presence on the show. It's really informative. It's nice to put a face to the players that are formidable, so people can try and challenge for that. So thank you for accepting the invite, and yeah, man, we really appreciate it here.
Yeah, we're always open we're always open for your feedback and stuff, guys. Private message us. I mean, this idea with the championship versus Premier League team of the week, that's come from a player. That came from a Batalier boykie that said, hey, let's try this out. We're open to this thing. 100%. It's about us at the end of the day. Cool. Enjoy the rest of the evening, guys. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.